Hey everyone, it's Lynnea here for Sassy and Crafty. Today I am going to create a cute little Halloween card using my favorite Sassy and Crafty stamp set. This is the All About the Booze stamp set. I love these little ghosts. I think they are super cute. And I'm going to start by creating my background. I'm using the Sailor Stripe stencil, but really any background will work with this card. I like to start with my backgrounds for a number of reasons. I think that really helps me build my cards that's my favorite part of the card is the background. So no matter what technique I'm doing, I tend to start with my backgrounds and then work my images around that. So in this case, I'm starting with my background because I'm working with a wet medium. I'm going to be putting some glitz glitter gel over this Sailor Stripe stencil, and this is going to take about 30 minutes to dry. So if I start with my background and let that dry while I color, I'll have my background dry and ready to go when my images are done, and then I can create a card all in one sitting. So I used some glitz glitter gel. This is the Wild Lilac glitz glitter gel, and I used pixie spray at the back of that Sailor Stripe stencil, and then I used my stencil pal to evenly spread that glitz glitter gel over my stencil. Now, I don't waste any of my glitz glitter gel or any other paste or anything like that. I am sure to scrape the excess off my stencil and my work surface, and then to preserve what's in the jar, you want to be sure to wipe off the rim so that there's no glitz glitter gel on the rim, preventing a tight seal, and then screw that lid on tight, and then I just clean up with a baby wipe. I'm grabbing my All About the Booze stamp set, and I'm going to stamp a little ghost. And it took me a minute here to figure out which one I want to do. I knew that I wanted to use this stamp set, but like I said, I start with my background and then I kind of work my images around that. So in the end, I decided to go with this cute little ghosty here who's carrying his little treat bucket. I'm going to color him with some cool gray markers. And there's a lot of different ways that you can color. I always encourage you to color with whatever medium you are most comfortable with and with whatever style of that medium you're most comfortable with. So recently I've been reaching for Copics, and my style of coloring is dark to light. So as I color this image, you're going to see me starting with my darkest marker first and either going around the whole outline of the image or just adding my darkest color where I think there should be shadows, and then working out from there. So here I started with C2, then I used some C1 and some C0, and then I used a colorless blender to kind of blend those edges out and get rid of those harsh gray lines, and that's going to give this ghost a little kind of cute little floaty, bubbly effect. Don't worry that I forgot his right arm there, the one holding the treat bucket. As I colored the treat bucket, I did realize that I forgot to color that hand, so I will go back and color that in. For his hat, I'm again using some cool gray markers. I'm starting this time with C9. That's a really dark gray. Even when I color blacks, I never pull out that 100 Copic marker. I like to start with my C9 and then work C7, C5, and coming all the way back. I find that gives more dimension and more depth than if you just go in and color something straight black, because even blacks have shadows and more highlights where the light hits them. So here you can see as I blend that out, you're still getting that black look, but you're getting a nice little highlight up at the top there. And then I will go back and deepen those colors too. I'm using some greens, and then I used a Y28 and Y26 marker just to create that gold buckle on his hat. And then I'm going to grab some YR markers. So I'm starting with YR16, and then I also have YR15, YR14, and YR12. I think that I skipped the 14, so I just did YR16, 15, and then I went right to the 12. And then I did also use some Y15 for the eyes of the jack-o'-lantern pumpkin guy here. So here's a little stamping trick that I like to do. No matter what medium you're coloring with, whether it's pencils, watercolors, markers, I find that you're going to cover up that black stamped line just a little bit as you're coloring. So I like to leave my image in my Misty and then just ink him up again with a dark black pigment ink and stamp right over those lines, and it really brings those lines back to life. I decided as I was working, like I said, everybody asks me, do you plan your cards? And honestly, I don't. As I'm creating, ideas come to me, and so I decided to create a cute little shaker card. But I wanted to add another area of texture, so I wanted to add some foil for my frame. So I have a piece of white cardstock here, and I'm adhering a piece of Easy Cut adhesive sheet from ThermOWeb. This is going to allow me to create a big sticker and transfer my foil onto this. So I have that Easy Cut adhesive sheet on my white cardstock, and now I'm grabbing some green sketch foil from ThermOWeb and Brutus Monroe, and I'm going to transfer this foil onto that big sticker. To do that, I'm putting the foil, it's pretty side up, so you want the back side of that foil, the silver duller side, to be touching the adhesive. And then I'm going to run that through my die cutting machine, and the pressure from my die cutting machine is going to press that foil into the adhesive, and I'm going to get a perfect transfer of foil there. I'm creating a frame using some circle dies that I've taped together. These happen to be from the LDRS Creative Scalloped Circle die set, but use whatever you have on hand. If you just have basic nesting circles, that works great. You just need to create a frame for your shaker. So here's my little foiled frame, and there's little circles in there, so I'm just going to grab my little pokey tool and poke those little circles out of those scallops. Then I used some double-sided easy tear tape, and I went all around that frame. I'm going to peel back that tape and put some acetate on to this frame, and that's going to start forming the basis of my shaker. You can die cut the acetate to be the exact shape of the frame, but I decided it was just as easy, since this is really kind of just a basic circle, to adhere that acetate on, and then I'll just use my scissors and trim away the excess. Now I need to build the walls of my shaker, so I'm using some double thick foam tape so I can make sure that my goodies are going to shake around really well. And I'm going to remove both sides of the backer. It's much easier to shape your foam tape around any shape. In this case, going around in a circle, it's much easier to do that if both sides of the backer are removed. You do want to make sure that this whole circle is sealed up so my foam tape edges meet there. You don't want any of your shaker bits falling out. Here's a big tip that I do whenever I'm creating a shaker card. I take my powder tool and I run that around the inside of my foam tape, and then any excess powder I also put around that acetate, because that's going to reduce the static electricity inside of my shaker. Now I'm kind of building my own little shaker mix here. I have some purple sequins, I have some little ghosties, and then to bring in another pop of color, I also have some jack-o'-lantern clay pieces. And I'm laying them onto my Sailor Stripe Glitz Glitter Gel background. That's all dry now. And I'm just kind of adding some here and there, and I'm going to mix them up. And then I will put that shaker frame right over the top, and I will seal in those shaker bits into my shaker well. And when I do that, I'm going to run my fingers all around and really press that in to make sure that those are sealed in. And check that out. Now I have Glitz Glitter Gel in the background, foil on my shaker frame, and those shaker bits moving around on the inside. I have my little ghost that I cut out with my scissors, and then I stamped So Cute It's Scary, and I'm going to just play around here with the sentiment and figure out placement for that sentiment strip. And then I will add those on with some adhesive. I think I just used liquid glue, since there was already that dimension from the shaker. So that's my finished card. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope that you picked up some tips and tricks, and that you're inspired by this spooky Halloween card. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Bye. Thank you again very much for watching this video. If you liked this video and you'd like to see more from me, please hit that subscribe button that is on the screen now. And here are a few other videos that I thought you might enjoy.